Welcome, Theater Addicts. My name is Danielle Benson. I am here with Josh Cronkite, and he will be reviewing Vancouver TheatreSports Avocado Toast, which is playing at the Improv Center on Granville Island. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
So how was Avocado Toast? It was an improv show, right?
Yeah, that's correct. It was fantastic. I got there nice and early, and their set. I got to kind of look at their set for a while, and even their set is hilarious. And yeah, the show's great. There's one intermission partway through, and there's something that I'm not quite used to actually for improv is that it's slightly structured. So they improvise within a structure. There's a little bit of an overarching storyline to it, so that it's it has a similar kind of ending for each show, but everything between that is completely improvised and completely fresh each night. What I love about improv is the spontaneity of it, and the situational comedy, and the physical comedy that can develop from that, because they were really great at physical comedy there, and that's one of the things that helped my friend who had English as a second language, was the physical aspect of it, that transcends borders. So
Because I know the theme, the avocado toast name, this is my accent, it sounds kind of strange, that it's supposed to be like Vancouver centric. Is that correct?
yes.
A lot of Vancouver jokes?
Yeah. So they have quite a bit of poking fun at things that are uniquely Vancouver, things like affordable housing, and things like exercising a lot, doing the grouse grind, and eating healthy, and all these things that are quite Vancouver-y. And yeah, it's great. And there was actually someone sitting beside me who was vacationing here from Mexico, her first time in Canada. And it was actually a really great introduction as well to the city, in a nice comedic way.
Oh.
Yeah, and they did it in a way that it could be very useful for people who are from abroad or just locals. It works perfectly both ways, so I found that really interesting.
I hadn't thought about that, because I thought it would be very, like Vancouverites will really appreciate it, like laughing at ourselves and poking fun at ourselves. But as a kind of introduction to the city, like, these are the things you should do, these are the things you should expect. That's kind of cool as well. We should mention it to the tourist board.
Yeah, no, it was. There's actually the host actually plays like a kind of like a tour guide. Yeah, it's perfect. It's great. I wish all tours were like were like the one at Avocado Toast.
I love how you said that eating healthy is a specifically Vancouver thing.
They do poke some fun at our eating habits. Avocado toast.
I'm a
And
big fan. Do you
yeah,
like avocado toast?
I haven't had the two together, but I do like them separately. So maybe I should try them together.
Can't call yourself a Vancouverite if you haven't eaten.
I know I felt like a little bit of an imposter there, just secretly. Shh.
And you're a millennial too. It's disgusting.
I know. I'm an outcast from both groups. I don't know what's going on.
Letting down the team. So you said that the set was hilarious. I don't go to a lot of theater sports, but I'm
Okay.
not used to them having a set at all. So
Yeah, no, from as far as I know, they don't generally have too much of a set. But they had it was just kind of the background, as it were, and they had a couple of these cool little bus stops, with funny names on them, and like kind of funny little Vancouverisms, and yeah, the backdrop, they had a really nice an artistic view of like Vancouver, and
oh, lovely.
some kind of comedic things that had to do with like construction and stuff like that, that kind of you saw the point of as the show went on. And yeah, it was really nicely how it all tied together.
So actually really well planned, even though it was mostly improvised. Cool. So from this show in particular,
Yep.
what was your favorite part and what was your least favorite part?
My favorite part, that's tough because it was really, really great show. I'd say they leave a lot of room for audience participation, and a couple people went up on stage and they helped contribute to scenes. There was a guy, they asked if anyone knew a second language, and he knew Japanese. And they did this hilarious scene where they said their improvisers, it was lucky because they were actually all fluent in Japanese. So he would say something in Japanese and they would incorporate that into the scene. They would translate it, and that was hilarious. The quick-wittedness of them to have things that sounded similar to what he was saying in Japanese was just stunning. And as for my least favorite part, that's even more difficult. To be honest, I know it sounds cheesy, but I didn't really have a least favorite part of it. It was just it was a riot from the beginning to the end. My only, I guess, regret is that I didn't get up on stage myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it heavy on audience participation? Because I know for myself, I quite enjoy improvised theater, but I do not like participating. So is it very heavy? Like, are you forced to, or is there the option of not participating if you don't want to?
There's some, like, they'll have you the kind of the classical way, like they'll have you call things out and call out suggestions. But there was one person, I won't say how, because it kind of gives away the plot a bit, and I don't want to do that. But they were kind of forced upon them. But at first it was kind of forced upon someone else, and they weren't really into it that much, so they did it on someone else. So they're not out to make anyone uncomfortable. And it ended up, like, it turned out magnificently. So yeah, I mean, if you're someone who's worried about, not wanting to be in the limelight, I don't think it's too much of a problem. From what I can sense, they're really good at gauging the types of people who would really want to be in the spotlight with them, and they pick those people out.
And you said something about it's a different cast every night, but they're all from the same company. Do you know much about the company?
I know a bit about the company. It's been around for a long time, and there's been quite a few. There's been, like, Colin Mockery's been part of it, and there's been some famous improvisers that you can see on TV that either kind of got their start out there or were there early on, and they sometimes come back and do a show here and there. It's a place that has quite a lot of history to it, and it's in Granville Island, which has quite a lot of history to it as well. So it's a really, really beautiful area.
Yeah, Granville Island is kind of performing arts central in a way for Vancouver. Yeah,
exactly.
Am I correct in thinking that Vancouver TheatreSports also hosts improv classes?
Yes, they do that. They have improv classes of all levels, and I believe they're taught by some of the cast members. So you get if you go there and you find, hey, this is actually really thrilling, not as an audience member, but I think I would also find it really thrilling if I'm up there. They do offer classes, and I have taken myself personally a couple of improv classes before, especially even if you're shy. It's something that it's in a safe environment, and it really gets you to get out of your shell, and it can be a really liberating experience.
Great. So if you did want to participate, or you want to participate more, go take some of their classes as well.
Definitely. I would highly recommend improv to anybody.
So any advice for anyone who's interested in seeing it, or kind of on the fence thinking, should I go, shouldn't I go? Any advice for our audience members?
Yeah, I would say definitely it's something that you want to take a friend or take someone with you, because it's better when you have someone there and you can both laugh together and if you want to participate together. And I'd also suggest getting there early as well, because they have, like, a bar lounge area that you can go into beforehand, and you can grab a few drinks and bring them into the theater. And yeah, it's a riot. Like, I wouldn't let yourself be put off by the potential of being singled out, because yeah, they're nice people, and they're not gonna make you suffer.
That's good to know. It's good to know that the performers aren't out to get you.
No, exactly. I think that's a little bit of a fear people have, but they aren't. And keep an open mind, and really, anything could happen, and and that's the part of the danger and the thrill of it, is that it's this magical moment that's never ever going to be repeated again. You're part of this little piece of history in a place that's quite steeped in history.
This is a different show, even though it's structured. It is a different show every night with different performers every night. So you could go back,
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, like I plan on going back actually, because I really enjoyed it that much, and it's really cool that you get to go and see a show where the ending's going to be the same or similar, but how you get there is going to be entirely different every time, and
That is
that's
quite
thrilling.
exciting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Avocado Toast is running until, I believe, the 1st of September on Granville Island at the Improv Center by Vancouver TheatreSports. So if you have a chance, you can go see it as many times as you like. It's a different show and a different cast every evening. Thank you again so much, Josh, for being our reviewer. And
Thank you.
we'll see you next time.